Hi, Dan here from Motuaker Appliance Repairs. Just going to talk about cleaning the filters on your heat pump dryer, more specifically talking about AEG and Electrolux heat pump dryers. This does cover heat pump dryers in general. Now, it's important to clean your filter on every dryer because on a standard ducted dryer, if you don't clean the filter, it's going to restrict the airflow and then the dryer won't dry as well. If any fluff gets through the filter or past the filter, it ends up blocking up the duct and then the exhaust system you've got in place, and again, it'll build up to the point it causes the problem. However, in a condenser dryer or a heat pump dryer, there's no exhaust duct. It all circulates air around, and so if you don't clean your filters properly, the air will find itself a way around the filter rather than through it, and when it goes around the filter, it'll take the fluff with it, and that will block up the condenser. If you have a conventional condenser dryer, you can take the condenser out and clean it, which is something you need to do reasonably often. If you've got a heat pump dryer, however, that condenser is the heat pump, and so you can't pull it out. It's in under here. You'll see a whole bunch of spaced fins. There's no way of accessing that except the very front. If you don't clean your filter enough, or if you've got a tear in your filter and the fluff gets past it, then it gets into that condenser, and if it's more than just what's in the outside here, we've got to take the whole dryer apart to get in the condenser to clean it out, wash it out, and then put the whole dryer back together, which is not a quick job to do. Because of that, most heat pump dryers will have two filters. These Electrolux AEG ones have the two filters in together like this. Some, such as Fisher & Paykel, have two separate filters, one that slots into the other. And then some have a filter here and then a second filter down in here. But they're always going to have two filters because it's just more important to not let any dust get to the condenser. What happens though is if you don't religiously keep this clean, and we've found that across all heat pump dryers really, but if you don't keep it clean, as I said, the air is going to find its way around the filter, take the fluff with it, and block up that condenser. So first thing you need to do is, there's going to be lint in here, you need to clean that out every cycle. If you leave it to build up, it's just going to restrict that airflow, and any air that is escaping by has got lots of lint there to carry with it. So you have to grab the lint out every cycle. B is that these filters actually need a wash. Now I'll see if I can get this on the camera. If I come up close here, this is actually a really fine mesh. And you'll notice that this one here is usually slightly finer than this other one here. If you look along the edges here, you see there's dirt in here. What happens is this dirt here actually kind of gets stuck into the mesh, and so just pulling the fluff out means you'll have to have dirt in there and it stops the airflow. So every now and then you'll need to wash this filter. Now how often depends on how dirty it is. On some dryers now we're finding it's best to recommend people do it kind of once a week. And so you're just going to get water, and basically if you run a tap on this filter, the water should go right through one layer. You know, the stream water is carried straight on through. If it's kind of hitting and then spreading out, it's because the water can't really get through where all the dirt is. And then obviously if water can't get through it, air can't get through it. If you have the filter on a side and you have a jet of water coming in, it probably won't go all through 4 layers, it'll kind of spread out a bit there. But each individual layer, the water should pass right through. So I usually have a little toothbrush, get water, and you can use a little bit of dish soap if you need to. Gently scrub, you don't want to punch the filter out of the plastic. Gently give that a rinse out. Now if you do that regularly, then you shouldn't need to do much more than just get water and just give it a rub with your fingers, and it'll clean it right up. But when it's really bad, as I said, you might need a little bit of soap or a toothbrush. You need to look in the seam along here, make sure there's no splits or anything there. These ones are quite good, they've got a hinge built in. Some of the Fisher & Paykel ones don't have a hinge, they just rely on the bending of the plastic. So they are, unfortunately, just due to the design, they're going to break. Then what we need to do is, so we're cleaning the filter every cycle, washing the filter every week, and then we need to check in the condenser. And then we need to check the actual condenser. So there'll be a panel here that opens up. This one's got the little latch there, and then this is the locking chamber, which seals the airflow. So basically what's happening is the air blows in here, down the side, and into here. As I said, on some of them there'll be an extra filter here. If we get a torch, you can see all those fins there. If it's really bad, then you might need to just get a toothbrush and go with the fins. You don't want to break them, you don't want to poke anything, because those pipes you can see in there got the refrigerant in them. You can gently scrub it with the fins with a toothbrush, but the main thing is make sure all around here is clean. Get into the chamber here, give it all a good clean out, and then push it down to the bottom here and remove it all from here. Once you're cleaning out there, you don't want to start it up again because it's going to suck it straight into the heat pump system. So you're going to make sure you clean all this up here. Just a damp cloth will pick up the last little bits, or you could use a little vacuum cleaner or something like that. So you're going to clean the filter lint out every cycle. Wash the filter about every week or 2 weeks, depending on how much you use it. and then every few months you need to just check in here. Now if you see a lot building up just from here, that's when you know you're going to need to go in and have a look.